What we're going to talk about today in the first part of the lecture is probability. And probability is really quite a difficult concept. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of trouble with it, but it's also very, very important. It's important because it underlies the whole of statistics, because when we're looking at society, we're looking at things happening in society or things happening in a market. By and large, we have lots of people behaving differently, and we have a large number of people behaving differently. And in order to understand what's going on, we have to see that there's randomness. We can't be sure what any particular person will do, but what we want to do is look at the behavior of things as a whole, and we want to reason about it. In order to do that, we have to deal with the possibility of things being random. That is, some events are happening which are not entirely predictable. Let me give you an example. If you smoke cigarettes, it is not certain that you will die from it. It's not certain, but it's probable. What does that mean? If you take a large population of people who all smoke cigarettes, then more of them will get cancer than if you take a large population of people who don't smoke cigarettes. It's a probability, but it's not definite, yes? It's not, you can always produce the example, Auntie Aisha is 100 years old and she smoked 3 packs a day all her life. That's true. That doesn't change the fact that the probability of getting cancer goes up if you smoke. So what do we mean by probability? Well, that's quite a difficult question, exactly what you mean by probability. It troubles the mathematicians a lot. But what we mean is something like this. If we say something has a probability and we give it a number, that is, roughly speaking, the proportion of the time that event will happen. So that if we say, if you smoke cigarettes, your probability of getting cancer is 0.7, and if you don't smoke cigarettes, your probability of getting cancer is 0.4, more like 0.3. What do we mean is, if we take 100 or 1,000 people, if we take 1,000 people who don't smoke cigarettes, 400 of them will get cancer. If we take 1,000 people who do smoke cigarettes, 700 of them will get cancer. Roughly speaking, because even if the probability is not 0.4, it's not necessarily the case that exactly 400 people out of 1,000 will get cancer, because that in itself is a random thing. So that probability is not exactly equal to frequency, but it's quite close to frequency. We have an interesting paradox that what we have to say is that as the numbers get bigger, the probability that the frequency will be equal to the probability increases. So you've got an interesting definition, a kind of recursive definition, a definition that depends on itself, which even the mathematicians are unhappy with. So although it's the case that I say, if I get a coin, if I've got any coins in my pocket. Let's get a big one. I haven't got any big ones, I've only got little ones. So if I take a coin and toss it, I do yazatura, what do we say that the probability of getting yaza is? 50%. 50%, a half. Does that mean that this will come up exactly half all the time? If I toss it 10 times, does that mean that it will come out exactly half of the time? No, it doesn't. Otherwise, you could have a situation where you got to the 9th one, and the 10th one would be determined. If you'd had 5 heads and 4 tails, 5 yaza and 4 tura, then you'd know that the last one of the 10 had to be tura. But that isn't the case, because every time you toss it, the probability remains a half. So if you look in practice, if we just take a coin, I wish I did have a big one. I spent my last lira on a coffee on the vapor, so I've only got a little one. All right, I'll have to make do with a 25 kurush. It's very difficult to toss. Right. That's come up Yaza. That's come up Yaza. That's come up Yaza. Look, it's come up 3 times in a row. It's come up the same. What's the probability that it will now come up Tura? Has it changed? No, it hasn't. So this is, if you like, the first paradox about probability. And probability, which underlies all of statistics, is full of paradoxes. It's full of what we've been talking about in previous lessons, things which are counterintuitive. In other words, you think that can't be right. So let's try again. Yaza. It keeps coming up Yaza. Let's see again. And it's random, I'm not fixing this. Tura. Right, but look at that. The probability is a half, but the frequency of Tura is only 20% at the moment. If we go on for a long time, though, you see it's come up Tura again. But still, the probabilities are half. So there's, just because we had a lot of Yazas and only 2 Turas, it doesn't mean that this is going to come up Tura. But it did. You see, you can't predict. It's random. It's random, but we want to be able to reason about this kind of event because all kinds of ways, when we're doing any kind of research, we have to deal with random factors. Apart from anything else, if you want to study society, for instance, if you want to study Turkish society, there are 70 million people. By and large, you can't ask everybody. I mean, you can in the census, but that's only done once every 10 years, and they only ask very few questions. But if you want to ask, what party are you going to vote for in the next election, or what do you think about this, or what do you think about that, you actually have to ask quite a small number of people, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people out of 70 million. Now, the question of whether or not that then represents what's really going on in society is also a question of probability, because by mistake, accidentally, however you choose people, if you choose them by tossing a coin or by pulling cards out of a hat, you're getting something random, and you might accidentally choose all the people who are going to vote for AK Party, all of them. And so you might get a result which is very misleading. And all we can do when we're trying to do that is try and arrange things so that the probability of the wrong answer coming out is small. In other words, if we do lots and lots and lots of these surveys, then in the long run, most of them we'll get right. And I'm sure you're aware that it's very often the case coming up to elections that the surveys are wrong, or one of the surveys is wrong. So that's all we can do is hope that the probability, that is, if we do lots of surveys, that not very many of them will go wrong. So that's the idea of probability. It's a number between 0 and 1. If something has a probability of 1, what does that mean? It means in the circumstances we're talking about, it always happens. So if I say, what's the probability of this coming up Yaza or Tura? The probability of that is 1, because it's going to come up one or the other. What's the probability of this landing on the edge and staying like that and neither being Yaza or Tura? The probability of that is 0. It's not going to happen. Or it's very, very close to 0. I suppose it might happen that it would balance on the edge on my hand and just stand there without falling down on one side or the other. So let's now look at some things which are very counterintuitive. How many people have we got in here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Still not enough people in. We'll do the birthday paradox later if we get some more people in. Huh? How many people do I need? I need about 35. I need about 35, which should be possible, but we haven't got 35 in this morning. Right, let's look at another example of a probability paradox, something which would kind of surprise you, because when we're looking at probability, we can look at different ways of combining probabilities. For instance, if I'm just looking at, I can look at some different probabilities, for instance, some different events which involve the combinations of other events. So I can ask, what's the possibility if I toss this twice? If I toss it twice, what's the possibility, what's the probability that I will get yaza twice? See, there's a probability of a half. In half of all the experiments that I do, the first one will come up yaza. In half of all the experiments I do, the second one will come up yaza. So in all of these experiments I do where I toss this coin twice, how many of those experiments roughly, what proportion of the experiments roughly will both of them come up yaza? 25%. That's true, provided the two independents don't affect one another. So, and in general, tosses of the coin do not affect one another. So, if I toss this twice, I would expect a quarter of the time to get, roughly speaking, I would expect a quarter of the time to get yaza, yaza, a quarter of the time to get tura, tura, a quarter of the time, let me get a better pen. That doesn't show. Let's get this one. That's it. A quarter of the time to get yaza tura. So if we look at the different events, we can say the probability of 2 yaza is a quarter, the probability of 2 tura is a quarter, and the probability that it's one of each is a half, which is an interesting result. You see, it's more probable that you'll have a roughly equal number than it is that it'll be one way or the other. And as you increase the number of throws, you get a curve that looks like this, so that although it's possible, and this is a curve you see very, very often in statistics, although it's possible, the probability at one end or the other that I throw a coin 10 times, it's perfectly possible that I will get 10 heads, and that doesn't mean that the coin is bent. It's much more likely that I'll get somewhere here, somewhere 4 heads and 6 tails, 6 tails and 4 heads, somewhere in the middle. It's much more likely that we'll get somewhere in the middle, and that's often the kind of calculation that we're having to do when it comes to probability. Now the problem, there are lots of problems about probability because there's a kind of built-in prejudice in the human brain about probability, a number of built-in prejudices about probability that make us always make the wrong decisions about probability. Who here has ever bought a lottery ticket? Lottery ticket. Or a Sayasal Lotto? Quite a few. Quite a few. But you see, when you think about it, you buy a lottery ticket, you actually hope that you're going to win, don't you? Or you wouldn't buy it. And you look at the number of numbers on the lottery ticket. Maybe it's got 7 numbers on it. Actually, imagine the following scenario. You go to Ankara to see your friend, but your friend has moved and you don't know his or her address. And you get out of the bus at Ankara bus station and you realise you've lost their phone number as well. And you go to one of those phones, a coin phone, in the bus station, and you think, what am I going to do? I'll just press 7 numbers at random. And your friend answers. That's about the same as the probability of you winning the lottery. But people would never do that. That just shows you how ridiculous this scenario is. People would never do that. and expect anything to happen, but people do buy lottery tickets. There you are. People buy lottery tickets. I've got one. That's a winner, by the way. It's a winner. My daughter chose it, so the rules of probability don't apply. It came up, matched the last two numbers. So there are all kinds of illusions about probability, because people can't think straight about probability. You need to look at the maths, which is why it's so important all the time. I mean, otherwise there wouldn't be a gambling industry. Gambling industry, the horses and all the other things that exist, all depend on people having a much more optimistic view of some kinds of probability and a much more, yes, optimistic view of probability. But it doesn't apply consistently. Your chance of winning the lottery is less than 1 in a million. Your chance at some time in your life of getting cancer is 1 in 3. It's a third. But people think they might win the lottery, but don't think about getting cancer, despite the fact that there's an enormous gap between those two probabilities. I mean, the cancer lottery is one that very many of us are going to win. If you look at this room, maybe there are nearly 30 people here. 10 of us are going to win the cancer lottery and get cancer. Fortunately, we don't know which 10, but that's again a piece of probabilistic truth that people don't want to know that, so we ignore that probabilistic fact. Now, when we come to conditional probability, which is that the probability that one thing will happen given that another has happened, all the calculations become much, much more complicated. And I want to try and show you some of the ways in which this works. Let's take, there's a game, a TV game, or there used to be a TV game with Mehmet Ali Erbil, where, let's find this. It's just going to open up now. Oh, I had it open already. Here it is. Right, here's the game. You answer some questions, and then you win a prize, and there are 3 boxes, A, B, and C, and in one of them there's a car or something like that. 3 doors. Behind one of the doors is a car or something very expensive and valuable. Behind the other doors there is nothing. Okay? And now you've won the competition, and you now have to choose which door you want to open. And so you make a choice, and this is, which door has got the thing behind it is random, so you don't know which one you should choose. You make a choice, and then, after you've made your choice, Mehmet Ali Erbil opens one of the other doors and shows you that there's nothing behind that door. Okay? That door is empty. That door, behind that door, is empty. And the question is this: should you now, and he then gives you the choice, do you want to change your mind about which box you're going to choose? Do you want to, you've chosen A. Do you now want to change your mind and choose something out? Because I've told you that C is empty. Should you change your mind, or shouldn't you? Okay. Should you change your mind, or shouldn't you? You see,
have you ever watched the movie 21?
No.
The teacher asked the same question
Yes.
to the students, and the student says, I changed because the possibility rises.
Yes.
And I changed.
You changed too. Well, the student's right, but lots of people wouldn't think so. Why should you change? you think about it, why should you change? You've chosen A, and Mehmet Ali Erbil opens C and shows you that it's empty, which it is indeed empty. Should you now change, or shouldn't you? Let's have a vote. How many people think you should, you see, you've chosen A, Mehmet Ali Erbil has opened C and said it's empty, right? So, should you keep your choice of A, or should you change your mind to B? Right, who thinks you should keep your existing choice? Come on, hands right up. I need to be able to see them because you're sitting so far away. Right? Who thinks you should change your mind? Right? Keeping your existing choice is in the overwhelming majority. We can look, of course, because I've set this up so that it does, in fact, there's a random chooser in here on this screen. Actually, in this particular case, you should have chosen your mind, because X marks the spot where they want them. It's a probabilistic thing, so it's not always going to be the case. But what we need to understand is there's something counterintuitive going on, because the student in that film is right.
Yes, because the possibility of A is 33%.
Yeah.
The possibility of B is 66%. Why?
Ah, why? Why? You're absolutely right, but why? Why? You see, someone want to give the counter argument? So people are saying no. Now, let's hear the reason why you're saying no. Why should you change your mind? Just because Mehmet Ali Erbil's opened a box and one of the boxes turned out to be empty. And we just saw one example where if you had changed your mind, you would win. Now, if I just press a button on the computer, I can make the thing happen again. Right, it's happened again. So it's changed. I don't know where it is at the moment. You don't know where it is at the moment. Now, Mehmet Ali Erbil's going to open open one of the doors and show you that it's empty. Again, he's going to open this one. So, sorry about that. Forgot to turn my mobile off. There we are, it's off now. You see, once you've been told that C is empty, you could argue, couldn't you? Oh, well, there are two possibilities, so it must be 50%, so there's no point in changing your mind. But that argument isn't right. And why isn't it right? It's an example of a good counterintuitive argument. So let's see what happened this time. It was in B. Right? So you should have changed your mind. Of course, that's not going to happen every time. If I do it again. Right. Now what am I going to do? I'm again going to open C and show you that it's empty. Should I change my mind? It's exactly the same. I'm going to open C and show you that it's empty. Should I change my mind? Actually, this time I would have been wrong to change my mind, okay? I would have been wrong because actually it was A. Let's try again. Here we go. Again, I'm going to open C and show you that it's empty. Should I change my mind? I would have been right to change my mind. Can we try again? Here's the hidden box. What I'm going to do now? Oh, I'm going to open B and show you that it's empty. B is empty. Should I change my mind? No? I should have changed my mind, shouldn't I? Oh, you think there's some difference between B and C? There isn't actually. Okay. Now I'm going to open C and show you that it's empty. Should I change my mind? Yes, I should. Here we go. Now I'm going to open B and show you that it's empty. Should I change my mind? Yes, I should. You see, it's not what you'd think. It isn't an equal chance. I mean, we've actually had a run of luck that it's come up more advantageous in terms of a percentage of the things that we've seen there to change your mind once the box been opened. Why is that the case? It's because there's an equal probability of the prize being A, B, or C. So the probability of the once you've chosen, the probability that you have the prize already is 1/3, and the probability that it's in one of the other two is 2/3. Once Mehmet Ali Erbil has opened one of the boxes, in other words, once you have some additional information and shown you that it's empty, you know which of these two it's in if it's not in yours. So the probability that it's in your box remains 1/3, whereas the probability is that it's in the non-empty box of the other two is 2/3. The box that you know that isn't empty. So the probability is 2/3. So it's quite counterintuitive. Is everybody convinced? Should we try it out? Should we have somebody who believes in each strategy come up and let's see what kind of result we get? Right, you said 2/3. Would you like to come up and we'll play the game with you 10 times and we'll see what happens, whether you win or lose. So, we can call these the change strategy and the no change strategy. Now, okay. Now you can of course now choose anyone you want. So you don't need to look at there. I'll tell you. Okay. Right. We're playing the game. I've pressed the button to play the game. Which one are you choosing?
B.
B. Okay. So I need to delete that and put your choice as B. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. And you were looking. Right, now I'm going to show you that that C is empty. Should you change your mind?
Yes.
Yes, you should. Right, and you won, didn't you? So I'm going to put a W for win. Right. Now, I'm going to play the game again by pressing this button here. You can see the little number in the top left-hand corner changes, which tells me I've changed the thing. Which one do you want to choose?
A.
A, okay. A. I hate spreadsheet programs, right. A. I'm going to tell you that B is empty. Should you change your mind?
B is empty.
Well, your strategy is for change, isn't it?
Yes, change.
So you're always going to say yes. But there you are. You lost. Okay? You lost that time. Now, I'm going to play the game again. I press the button. You see the little number in the top left-hand corner change. Which one are you going to choose?
C.
A?
C.
C?
Yes.
Okay. You're really making my life difficult here. Let's just... Okay. Right. C. And I'm going to tell you that A is empty. Are you going to change your mind?
Yes.
You lost. Okay. We need to do this at least 10 times, otherwise we're not going to see. Right, now, here we go. Oops. Going to play again. There we go. Which one do you want to choose?
Again, C.
C. Right, I'm going to tell you that A is empty. Are you going to change your mind?
Yes.
You lost. Not doing very well on this strategy, are we?
I'm unlucky.
Unlucky, yes, because this is...
By the way, the answer was same 2 times again after and after.
Yes.
It's harder to, you know. Also, I choose A.
You choose A. Okay, you've chosen A. I'm going to tell you that C is empty.
Yes, I change.
Again, you lost. Oh, we're doing very badly with the change strategy, aren't we? Let's try again. Right. Which one do you want?
B.
You want to choose B?
Yes.
Right. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to put it in the spreadsheet because it's making a mess. You've chosen B. I'm going to tell you that C is empty. Do you want to change your mind?
Yes.
Ah, this time you won. All right, we play again. And I'm going to, which one do you want to choose?
A.
A. I'm going to tell you that B is empty. You going to change your mind?
Yes.
You lost again.
Really?
Huh? It's a nice example, this, because actually our theory isn't being proved, because we're going to have to do a lot of examples. All right, I'm going to play again. Which one do you want to choose?
C.
C. I'm going to tell you that B is empty. You're going to change your mind. So you're going to choose A?
Can I not change?
No, because we're testing your strategy.
Okay. Yes, I change.
Okay, you won. Haha, you see? You see how counter you thought you were going to lose, but you won. Yes. Right. Okay. Now let's do one more. How many do we need to? We're going to do 10, won't we? It's 8. 2 more. Right. I'm going.
Choose A.
You choose A. I'm going to tell you that B is empty. You're going to change your mind?
Yes.
You lost again. There you are. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. One more. Play again. Bunk. Right, which one do you choose?
C.
C. I'm going to tell you that B is empty.
Yes, I change.
And this time you win.
Yes. 4 times.
4 times out of 10. Actually, that's not a confirmation of our theory, is it? It's not a confirmation of your claim, but the problem is that we've only done 10. And actually, we need to do hundreds before we can be sure what's going on here. But the important thing about this is this counterintuitive thing, which is that if you get the information that one of those boxes is empty, then you should always change. And the fact that in the short run that didn't work doesn't prove anything at all. We could now get someone else up with the other strategy, and they might do more on this short sample. But what we would need to be able to see that is a much longer sample. Right. Okay. Now, this kind of conditional probability, that is, things that depend on what you know or things that have gone before, can lead to all kinds of very important social results, in particular in terms of perceptions. There's a reading for you this week, which I'll be putting up on the website after this lecture is over, about probability, by a man called John Paulus, who's an American mathematician, and he gives an example about probabilities and perceptions about people being thieves. He puts the following scenario. The scenario is this. There is a robbery in the street. Somebody's bag gets stolen, a cup catch. And there is a witness to the robbery, and he's writing about the United States, and the witness is 80% reliable on the question of race. That is, 80%, if the witness says that somebody is black, then 80% of the time they're right, and 20% of the time they're wrong. And if the witness says that someone is white, similarly, 80% of the time they're right, and 20% of the time they're wrong. In other words, it's an unbiased witness. And then we look at the following question, which is like a criminal question, or a question about perception in society. What is the probability, if the witness says that the thief was black, that the thief actually was black? Can anyone think of a comparable choice that we could be making in Turkey? But there aren't very many black people in Turkey. We would be talking, and we're talking about kapkaç on the streets of Istanbul. We wouldn't be talking about black people and white people, would we? What would we be talking about?
Gypsies.
Gypsies, maybe, yes, or any other ethnic minority. Or gypsies or Kurds. So let's make it a bit more relevant. Let's say, supposing it was Kurds. So we have someone, and maybe the person speaks, says something as they're making the robbery, and we have a reliable witness who can tell whether or not someone is speaking with a Kurdish accent. Right? Someone whose mother tongue is Kurdish. Right? So what would you think the probability was? The witness is 80% reliable, and the witness says the young man doing the kapkaç was Kurdish. What's the probability that the young man actually was Kurdish? What would you think? The witness is 80% reliable. 80%? You think it was 80%? Well, let's analyze it and see what that probability really is. Given that the witness says that the thief was Kurdish, what is the probability that the thief actually was Kurdish? And to do that, we need to look at the frequency table. And the first thing we need to know, in order to be able to do this, is we need an additional piece of information. Any idea what additional piece of information we need? In order to be able to work out the probability that when the person says that the thief is Kurdish, that the thief actually was Kurdish, we need another piece of information in order to be able to tell how likely that is to be right. Well, consider this possibility. Suppose actually in Istanbul there was only one Kurdish person living in Istanbul. Only one. But our witness still gets things right 80% of the time. Then the witness, 20% of the time, is going to say that the thief is Kurdish, even though there's only one Kurd in the whole of Istanbul. So it's obvious in that case that you can't draw a sensible conclusion. You can't draw a sensible conclusion about the likelihood just on the basis of the reliability of the witness. We need to know something else, don't we, about the population of Istanbul. Because in fact there might even be no Kurds in Istanbul, but the witness still gets it wrong 20% of the time and says it's a Kurd, even though it's impossible. In which case, of course, when the when the witness said it was Kurd, the witness would always be wrong. Even though the witness is 80% reliable, the witness will be always wrong when the witness said that the thief was a Kurd. Now that's the case that we're looking at. We're looking at the case when the witness says that the thief is a Kurd, what is the probability that the thief really was a Kurd? In that case, 0. Okay? Despite the fact that the witness is 80% reliable. Because we're looking at the 20%, which is where the witness is saying it's a Kurd, and there aren't any Kurds. So 20% of the time the witness is wrong, and so whenever the witness says that the thief was occurred, the witness is wrong. Right, so what else do we need to know to be able to work out the real probability? It's obviously affected by another factor, isn't it? What's the other factor that affects this decision? This discussion becomes much more heated when we have some Kurdish students in the audience. Have we got any Kurdish students in the audience? No. Okay. People become more excited about it. Any gypsies in the audience? No. Okay. Or Roma. That's the proper word, isn't it? What we need to know is we need to know what proportion of the population is Kurdish and what population is Turkish. We've just seen if the proportion of the population who was Kurdish was 0, then the witness would always be wrong when he or she said that the thief was occurred. So, any idea, a guess of the population of Istanbul, which is Kurdish? Huh?
15 million.
No, that's the total population of Istanbul. The percentage of that population which is Kurdish?
25%.
25%. I think it's probably somewhat less than that, maybe 15%. Okay, let's think about it. Suppose it is 15%. It fits in with the example that Paulus gives us in his book, because the black population of the United States is 15% of the population of the United States. Now let's think about this. Let's suppose, right, have the real figures here. Let's suppose that actually not only is the population of Istanbul 15% Kurdish, but the Istanbul thieves are also 15% Kurdish. So let's take 100 cases and we'll say 85 are Turkish and 15 are Kurdish, because 15% are Kurds and 85% are Turks. Right, now let's look at what the witness sees. What does the witness see? Well, the witness, looking at a Turkish thief, 80% of the time says Turkish, and 20% of the time says Kurdish. So let's look at the witness. Turkish, Kurdish. So, if the thief is Turkish, the witness says Turkish 80% of the time. 80% of 85 is 68.
What's the meaning of witness?
Şahit. Şahit or tanık. Şahit or tanık. Someone who saw it. And 20% says Kurdish. Right? So it was a Turkish person doing the robbery, but the witness says they were Kurdish, because they're wrong 20% of the time. Now let's look at the Kurdish case, where we've got 15 examples. Now the witness is wrong 20% of the time, so when it's occurred, the witness will say 20% of 15, which is 3 times, will say Turkish, and 12 times will say Kurdish. Okay. Now, let's look. We see we've got 29 cases in which the witness says Kurdish. Right? 29 of 100 robberies, the witness says Kurdish. Now, in what percentage of those was the thief actually Kurdish? Look, 12 out of 29 times. So, when witness says Kurdish, right, 12 out of 29 times. Only 12 out of 29 times. So, and 12 over 29, we can just see what 12 over 29 is as a percentage. Here we go. Oops. Equals 12, 29. It's 41%. Let me make that a bit bigger for you. Okay? 41%. So that 80% reliable witness, when the witness says the thief was Kurdish, is right a lot less than half the time. And why do we get a result like that? Well, because of course there are a much larger number of Turkish people, and therefore the error, the mistaken identifications of people as Kurdish is a very large factor in the calculation. And it's an example of conditional probability. You can't run those figures backwards. If someone is 80% likely to be right, has a probability of being right 80% of the time about a particular decision, which is the case here, it does not mean that if they have given a particular verdict, that verdict has an 80% possibility of being right. It's counterintuitive, and very often it is the case that in court cases that unfortunately judges are fooled by this kind of argument. So, you have a reliable witness, the witness says this, and then it's assumed, and that means that the probability that the person in the dock, the person who's accused of the crime, there's a probability of 80%, a convincing probability in this case, of 80% that they actually did it. And it's often not the case. And because people don't understand this probabilistic argument correctly, there are miscarriages of justice, or in this case, a mistaken social perception that, all the thieves in Istanbul are Kurds. It's true of any minority, that any minority will be misidentified as doing something wrong much more often than they actually do it, which is the product of this particular phenomenon. Okay, let's take a break for 10 minutes.